Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are here with my adorable daughter. What is she saying? Thanks for helping with the grapes, Warrior of Darkness. In return, I promise to brew you a potion on one day. Oh, she is so sweet. Okay, I still love her. So, yeah. No one come for my daughter. She's sacred. But yeah, let's continue with the story. I'm sorry. Warrior of Darkness, if you finished helping Riki, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest to God's fighting. We already have some enemies that you can deal with. Vampire bats. The guards say they've become a pest around the Crysarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. But they shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting and we were just watching. The children told us as much while you were away, and in preparation Chesamil kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind that the younglings will be watching. That's to say, put on a good show, yes? Right, let's head outside at once. Everyone follow me. Let's go. Oh, and I say, wait, just come on then, children. Okay, let's go. Alrighty, we're out here at the XIV gate. Everyone's here. Good. Let's get started, shall we? As the name suggests, the vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and become a nuisance. To draw them out, we'll use Chesamil's lures, which work by exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats are wont to nest under the eaves, so you are likely to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have here 6 lures, 3 each for you and me. As proof of a successful kill, I want you to gather up their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. You're hunting too? Yeah, they only want to see me, not you. Yes, well, there's something like friendly competition to bring out the best in Laura. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, the 2 of you are to stay with Reen. She's really strong too and will keep you safe. They're like, what? Without further ado, let the contest begin. Let's go! Alrighty, we got some fangs. Well fought, Laura. The children were hanging on your every move. As was I, to be honest, though I know the tally. May I see your fangs for good measure? Apologies for the wait. My thanks, not a bad haul, even if I do say so myself. Five, 6, 7. 7 fangs from Alizé. Oh, I only have 4. Which means that victory goes to Alizé. Laura collected 4. Well, it's not my fault that there weren't that many. I did it. I bested Laura. And another goddamn life, you didn't even try, did you? There was taking it seriously. Spare me your pity next time, will you? Damn, can you chill? She's always pissed. Thank you. So, children, you've now seen the Warrior of Darkness in action. What are your impressions? She's incredible, miss. The bats were down before they knew it. Our guards are strong, but the Warrior of Darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like her. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you may as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched Laura and train hard. Keep at it for long enough and you'll be strong too. If you don't mind telling us, then when did you decide that you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when Artbird appeared, but I've wanted to be strong since before I came to the Crystarium. The Sin Eaters killed my father and my sister, see, and I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Artbird said, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. What about you, Arkil? Me? To be honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do. But if my friends were in trouble, I know that I would want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them, see the world together. That's a wonderful goal. You really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. I felt as though there was something I'd lost and that I had to go out there and find it. Well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercises you can do by yourselves. Thanks for showing us your fighting skills, Warrior of Darkness. We'll never forget. Ah. Adorable. I understand how Arco feels. The star shower didn't awaken me to Heidelin's voice, but that vision of the final days of Amaranth burning. It filled me with sadness to the very pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made, felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind. But when I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt, but lest you worry, I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intention of donning an Asian mask. I just wish we knew what Elidibus was plotting. But look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're going to stand around lost in thought, we may as well do it back in the city. Rest assured, Reen and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. I guess their soul connections are getting weaker. It's nothing, just a disease spell. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. I'm fine now, don't worry. I'll see you soon. Very odd. As you ponder Elisei's word, you are taken by an urge to revisit the scene of the fateful meeting. Well, then I guess, we should go there. Let's go. Alrighty, we made it to the lookout. Let's see. Oh. Get it.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
Why did I wink at him? Yeah, I think I will stop reading those because, I mean, it's just annoying.
So you peered into my memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope.
Give back Artbert's body. Why must you embroil the people in your plans? What are you plotting? I mean, he's probably not gonna tell what his plan is now. Yeah, I guess why does he get those people in?
I merely avail myself of such tools as I require for the conflict to come.
Conflict to
That
come.
which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness. I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You.
But they love me.
You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose.
I mean,
The convocation
got a
charged
point.
me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done. I will strike you down.
Whoa.
Destroy you body and soul. All else must wait.
Why? Why, man? Why? Stop scaring me, game.
Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness. And I will save the world.
That's the thing, in this game you just don't expect it. Like, when I play a horror game, which I very rarely do, and I will never record it, thank you very much, because I get scared so badly, and I jump around, and I scream literally 90% of the time, so you really don't want to see this, and it is just torture for me. But there at least I expect it. Like, I expect it the whole time. But here I don't expect it, so it always gets me. God damn it.
One last matter.
Yeah.
I bore witness to your final struggle with Emet-Selch. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you. As if he mistook you for another.
Ephradeus called me his new old friend. Let's just tell him. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
No. I recall not of whom he spoke. Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude. But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
Rude.
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
Damn.
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed. This is my own doing, the consequence of my recent exertions. It is the Tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it. Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor. One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the first once said that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope. Or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. Said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith, such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future. And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness. Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
Oh no. So you didn't see that coming? Well. The fates seemed determined not to allow us a quiet moment, but come, let us have the details from Breen. Yeah, that's the plan. It happened after Odyssey and I saw the children back to Spagorix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumpled to the ground. The Cryourchins are looking after him now, with Alphino standing by just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the XIV told me where to look. I see, it cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spagorix. Alrighty, let's hurry. Alrighty, we're here with Thancred. Let's see if he's about to die. They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's ether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the fluctuations. And all of this happened without warning. Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. When his water-walking charm failed, he was tired, as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which in retrospect may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there was no actual fainting until now. As Alphino observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most assuredly isn't old age, which leaves but only likely cause. But one likely cause. The link between body and soul has weakened further. Time grows short, we must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, Laura, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kryle about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus's plot. Thus far, I have learned this much, that in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals has invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. These terrorizing settlements, blight, ravaging crops, you know the sort of thing. All of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus's call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. You think these black-clad strangers are Scions? I do, and I fully intend to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on mine. Gods know I've been itching to get out there for a while. Mayhap Urianger too can be prevailed upon you to join in your efforts. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Begluk and I to wrestle with the rest. And if you can spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. You'll do no such thing. However, heedless you are of your own well-being, if you care at all for Reen's feelings, you stay in bed until you're needed. Elfin and I will find Urianger. But Urianger also had some lightheadedness, no? Should we also check on your shoulder, maybe? All being well, we will have news to share by the time you return. Safe travels, Lura. Alrighty, let's go back to the source. Alrighty, we're back in the Rising Stones with Tataru. Let's see. Nora, what excellent, awful timing. You see, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worse. Kryle's hardly had a moment's rest these past few days. She didn't want everyone to worry, so we've been keeping her quiet. Oh, but listen to me, I call myself a receptionist and I haven't even bothered to ask you why you're here. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon and they want to make sure there are no problems at this end. You better talk to Kryle. She's with the others and Dawn's respite. Let's go and see her. Just prepare yourself, alright? Prepare myself. Are they like corpses that are falling apart?
Excuse us.
Damn.
This way.
Did I ever hear of candles or something?
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
Oh, no, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed. But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax, barely alive at all.
Aww.
And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
No! What news from the first? I see, work on the spirit vessel proceeds apace, but our friends begin to falter. As they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul has weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their ether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon, so if the Exarch is ready to attempt something, let him attempt it. As for the spirit vessel itself, if we seek to draw upon elegant wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. I mean... I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't sound that good. Food for the soul. Nora, could you spare me spare a moment while Kryle goes and finds this expert of hers? I mean, there's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wondered if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Well, I better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. Alrighty, let's go. Alrighty, we're here. There you are, Laura. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Kryle, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit. So I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. Oh my god. Bread. They are baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. Toast. It's bread. Smells great. Your cake looks like bread. I just had to take it because it's so funny. It is bread, silly, and not just any old bread. This here is old world bread. Arkan loaf, to be precise. It's what they eat over in Charlian. Simple fare, I admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Kral tells me it's a good source of ether. So it should lend them a bit of strength at least. There truly is nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. That is true. Kral, and if it isn't Rambros too. I trust you require no introductions either, Lura. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess, I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain elegant technologies. I have been keeping Rambros apprised of events in the First. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement, memory transference was the sole province of elegant royalty. Its mechanisms closely guarded secrets, if any record of them remains. We have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here. Empty-handed as I am, the answer being, rather brazenly, to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remained behind have yet to play our part. When the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. Then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide, but either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, Laura. If you would be so good as to see Rambro's message and Tataru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Krile, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try, just to make sure everything's as it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. I guess she likes it. Excuse me, Rambros, as a fellow Charlian, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Rollumberry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. I love it. They are literally dying and we are eating bread. Oh no, is it that bad? No, it's that good. It is indeed Tataru, dense and unpleasant, exactly as it should be. Just so, the very taste of home. Oh. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Charlian, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment, save for those few who actually research the culinary arts. We pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon loaf was born. The creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. Yet for this many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied. And being a damnable convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. I suspect just about every Archon would say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it is all too familiar. How it takes me back. If there is enough, perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Laura, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. And seriously, she put fish and vegetables in there and then she's like, oh what? How does it taste like shit, you know? It's like, what the hell, man? And I mean, like, you smell fish. Like, fish is such an extreme smell. Like, oh my god. Okay, let's go back. Alright, we're here to deliver bread. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? Good, take it. By the 12th Archon loaf, however did you come by this? I swear it had come straight from Charlian. Remrose said that, did he? His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it, but I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament, so I ask that you have faith in me and what we do. But we were talking about your journey before the others arrive. I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. Okay. Let me guess that bread saves their lives.
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Scions throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events, to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elizabeth set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Scions quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies?
Well enough, though time is not on our side. I'm sorry, but things have taken a turn for the worse. I mean... should be honest.
Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allegan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects notably do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes, so far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works.
To be honest, it's also his fault they're here, right? So, I mean...
We shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
I mean, at least his arms match now.
Let us be off then. We have Scions to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
One is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
Well, well. Hast thou a moment, Laura? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's smoother return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friends spake not uncertainties, yet if Begluk have the right of it, it's possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch have been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his ethereal composition. As thou thyself didst demonstrate emerging with Artbird, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self as simply that, himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. This is a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century, our friend have striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee, and to that singular end that he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth, none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. To be honest, I didn't understand a word you just said, but yeah. We'll continue in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like what you see, and obviously subscribe if you would like to see more. I try to upload every single day. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and bye bye.